Hello and welcome to this edition of Luthier Shorts, an ongoing series of tips and tricks and generally interesting things for the luthier and guitar player alike. In this episode, I'm going to show you how I process raw shell into usable blanks ready for use in inlay for your fingerboards and headstocks and things like that. It must be said that you really need to have the proper safety gear when doing this. You need to wear a mask at all times, and you need to have some kind of vacuum or extraction system to get rid of the shell dust, because it's really dangerous. It can get into your lungs, it can stick there, and it can cause a problem known as silicosis, which is a very devastating thing for your system. So please wear a correct and proper mask at all times. Okay, so to begin with here, you can see on the shell that I've already marked out with a Sharpie marker pen two areas that I intend to cut out using a Dremel tool. These areas, they're quite small because you have to account for the curvature of the shell. If you take too large an area, then when it comes to grinding the two surfaces down flat either side of the shell, you're going to run into problems because you're going to run out of shell on either side and the piece will become too thin and too unusable. So it's best to start with small areas of shell, areas which are fairly thick because we're going to be grinding them down, and areas which don't have too much curvature to them. So try and choose a semi-flat-ish section of the shell if you can. So next up is to attach the shell piece that we just cut to a piece of wood to essentially make a kind of holding handle, as we're going to be pressing this against a flatbed grinder, trying to work down the two surfaces and get them flat. Here you can see I'm just using an offcut of wood, it doesn't really matter which, and I'm going to affix it to the shell with super glue, with CA glue. Using a little accelerator here to get things going quicker. And there we go. Here the process is quite straightforward. We just place the blank onto the grinder and move it around. I like to keep it moving in this manner because if you keep it in one place, it tends to build up scratch lines in one direction. So keeping it moving all over the surface of the grinder like this helps to get a kind of better, more even, less definitively scratched surface. I check every now and then for flatness. You can kind of tell how the flatness is going by the dust pocket buildups that you'll see. I'm not sure if you can quite see it there, but generally you get these white circular pockets of dust buildup where there's still a kind of hollow section of shell that needs to be ground out flat. There, you can just see at the top there, that's a hollow section of shell. So once you've ground one surface flat, the next thing to do is to place the whole thing into a bath of acetone, of nail polish remover, which will help to debond the super glue. If you leave it there for 5, 10, 20 minutes, you should be able to quite easily remove the shell blank from the wooden handle, and then just dry it off a little bit, ready to repeat the process on the other side. Here you can see the shell blank, which is flat on one side but still not on the other. This one was a little stiff to get off. I probably should have let this soak a little bit longer, but as you can see, it worked fine. And now it's just repeating the process as before, gluing the shell back onto a wooden handle, this time with the flat side up, ready to repeat the same grinding process as before. And that's it. You can see from these blanks here, they've been ground nice and flat on both sides, and they come in at around about 1.5 millimeters, which is perfect for inlay work. They're maybe not so even all the way around, but you can definitely get some usable sections out of these. Of course, you can buy these blanks quite easily and less dangerously, obviously, from various supply places. But sometimes, maybe like me, you need some special colors or something slightly different, and you would like to know how to do this yourself, and this is just one process. This is just how I do it, and I hope it helps. Thank you for watching this episode of Luthier Shorts. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time.